Hi everybody, welcome to a Flex and Reflect Sunday sit down. Bunch of really great questions today, and I'll finish on a particular note talking about my daughter and how I'm going to answer those questions. All right, so Happy New Year it's New Year's Eve here at the time of recording this. So I hope you're going to have a healthy, happy New Year's Eve. Stay safe, all that kind of stuff. All right, now let's skip through some of these questions. There was a good one here. Oh, where is it? No. Oh, this one here. What mindset techniques can I apply to ensure I stay consistent with my health and fitness resolutions for the upcoming year? Obviously relevant. So I think if you, say today, are just starting to think about, wow, I want to be getting into that new health, that new body, etc. in the new year, probably some red flags there, because that says to me that it's not something that's been on your radar, and chances are within 4 weeks' time it's going to drop away again. Having said that, kudos to you for feeling inspired to do something about your health and wellness. And you've asked the right question, but you're saying what mindset techniques, because a lot of people will start on a journey. They'll go and do, join the gym and do those sorts of things. Maybe go out, like this morning, I'm seeing a bunch of people in the gym. I did a workout this morning, seeing people out and about, running and that kind of stuff, and they just look like people that their running technique is not awesome and stuff, and they look like they're just starting on something because maybe they've got some holiday time now, some break, and it's like, okay, I've finally got to do something about myself. But the sustainability, the consistency, I just did a post on my social media this morning about consistency. Absolutely, it's about what you not just do today, but you do tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day, etc., so that you can make this be just part of your lifestyle, become a lifestyle habit that you can continue on for forever. So I think when it comes down to your mindset, what it is that you should be thinking about is, maybe if I use this little story. So many years ago, I went through this process of identifying what are the key things that I need to do every single day to help me achieve those, what I call high performance outcomes. And so part of that, or a big part of that, is to do with my health and wellness. But then, when you go through, so I run my own business, but whether say you're in business or you're working for someone else, whatever, those periods of time when you're just in the zone. It's like, people throw challenges at you, problems, and you're just solving them just really, really quickly, and you're in the zone. And I was finding that this is probably like 8 years ago, where I was having a really good, day, a good few days, a good couple of weeks, and then you allow things to happen, and then I would just stop and I'd say, I'm not being as productive or focused as I was, say, a week ago, because time was getting away and I wasn't making myself accountable. And then I realized that I'm not consistently doing, ABC that I was doing before. All right, so I need to do those. So what I started to do was capture. So I wrote down, I created a little checklist at the time I created it, it was 5 days a week, because I was having weekends off. I don't do that now. But I was creating a list of all the things that I thought that I needed to do every single day. So, like getting my sleep in, making sure that I was taking my supplements, getting my 6 meals in, healthy, nutritious meals, doing my strength training on, 3 days a week. It was doing my, getting 10,000 steps in a day. It was drinking 3 litres of water. It was actually, at the time, it was probably about 2 litres of water, but I've taken it to 3 now. It was doing some certain things for my business as well, making sure that I was growing each day, and I was filling my mind, doing some strategic thinking. I was mind feeding, listening to my coach and doing those types of, a different coach, but at that time, but like I was growing myself. And then what I would do is I would check them off each day and then work out, okay, do I need to add anything? Can I take anything away because I had a great day, even though I didn't do, say, one of them. And after a while, now I don't write it down because I'm just conditioned. I do it every single day. So I've been doing it for years now. And so I think the best tip I can give you is do the same task. Write down what you think are all the key things that you need to do to achieve success across all areas of your life. And that includes spending time with your partner if you've got one, spending time with your children if you've got children, being present for them, not just sitting with them, but being present with those people, as well as how do you grow you. So like those things I said about your health and wellness, doing those things, but what else is it for you? What are those things? And then just try it for a few weeks, take things away and see how is that all working? What are the outcomes that you're getting? And part of that, a big part, like relating back to your question, is your health and wellness and fitness. So if you just start out, for instance, with your health and fitness, think about the reasons why you want to get started. What are the outcomes that you want to achieve? And then you kind of reverse engineer it and say, well, okay, if I want to have more, most people start out with the look and they say, oh, I'm overweight, so I'm not happy with that. But dig deeper. Okay, think about, energy. What does energy mean to you? What does adding extra years of health, decades potentially of health and pain-free living mean to you? Think about focus as well. Like I find when I'm super healthy, so like I put all the work that I do into my health, then I find that I'm more focused. And if I'm more focused and I'm more energized, I can get more of everything done. So just think about what are all those different pieces, why you got started, and keep building that, make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, so that it then just becomes that lifestyle habit. Now you do have to practice it every single day, not just from time to time, every single day. Just keep building it. Imagine it's like a snowball, starts out like a little snowflake and then it gets a bit bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it just becomes so big that you never ever stop because it becomes part of your lifestyle. So I think if you can relate to all those things, that will dramatically help you. That took a long time to answer that, but it's a really good question. Okay, as we approach the end of the year, what reflections and lessons can we draw from our fitness journey in 2023 to set the stage for an even healthier 2024? Yeah, well, I guess that's a good question too, because if most of us aren't honest with ourselves and say, oh yeah, I didn't achieve that, but that's because of bang, 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 bang. Okay, this whole list of excuses, because we kind of justify why we are mediocre or why we are where we are, as opposed to, actually, do you know what? I didn't keep myself accountable. I needed a coach to help me do that. I wasn't consistent at the gym. I wasn't consistent with my food for, all these reasons, and really pull it apart and say, well, why are you not where you want to be? Most people aren't. Even the most successful people in the world are always looking for that. What's that next piece of growth? How do I keep moving my health and wellness further? For me personally, I'm looking every single day. How do I make today better than yesterday? What can I do today to make me a better person, to grow and learn and add value to people than I was yesterday? Doing those types of things is really important to me. And so I don't just do it at the end of the year. I'm doing it on a sort of a daily, weekly basis to say, well, okay, well, what am I not doing right now? What am I doing? What do I need to change? And so I think if you pull apart and just be really honest with yourself, write down the things. If you really want to drive change in life, you've got to write these things down so that you can go really deep, because you can only think, I find, like this deep, but you really need to go this deep. And so maybe you say, oh, well, no, I can think this deep. Well, great, but maybe the gold is down here. So imagine you're like mining and you stop here and you say, yeah, well, there's a bit of gold here, but imagine all the gold and the diamonds and the platinum and everything is down here. So I find writing it down just makes it go deeper and deeper. And then just be really honest with yourself. You don't have to share it with anyone. Just be very honest with yourself, though. Why you where you are. Don't make up excuses. Remove all the excuses. Well, it was this, it was that. Just remove all the excuses. All right, so I'll ask you a couple more. So there's some really good ones here about some getting about some music ones, healthy holiday recipes. So what I would say about that, so what's your favorite healthy holiday recipe or fitness related holiday tradition? So I guess the tradition is that I always do a workout on I'm working out more over the holiday sort of period, because my schedule's a little bit different. But my tradition is I will always work out on, say, Christmas Eve. I will always work out on Christmas Day. Same thing for New Year's. So it's New Year's Eve today morning. So I work out today. I will work out tomorrow as well. I always do that. Why? Because I want to finish the year strongly. I want to start the year strongly. I want to do what most people aren't prepared to do. I find that is really special for me. As far as the food goes, I think while you've got perhaps some extra time, you can go to my website, studiospt.com.au, and you can have a look through the recipes there, or go through my socials, and you can try some of those, or just Google healthy recipes. Focus on the protein. Make sure that you're getting at least, I would suggest, like 20 to 30 grams of protein per serve. Maybe no more than 500 calories per serve, or around that or less. And apologies about the bird. It is taunting my whiskers. Just experiment. Okay, you've got a little bit more time. Just experiment with some healthy recipes. You might create some new flavors and stuff that you can put into your normal rotation. I would encourage you to find foods that you can freeze, though, cook up in bulk. All right, so I've got some questions here about partners, which is it's a really good time of the year. Okay, so how do you approach the topic of health and fitness with a partner who is resistant to making changes? Now, I see this a lot with my clients, where one person is super pumped to do something, but the partner doesn't want to do anything, and they don't have necessarily a healthy lifestyle, and maybe together they've both had an unhealthy lifestyle, but one person has made the decision, no, I want to change that now, but the other person is like, no, I'm not doing that. Really challenging, because when it comes down to the food and you're eating together, it's like, well, why are you eating that? And then whether they do it consciously or unconsciously, sabotaging what it is that perhaps if you're the one that wants to make the change, what it is that you want to do. So it's really tough. So how do you approach the topic? My suggestion is you've just got to be really honest and open about what's important to you, what it is that you want for you, and trying to understand what your partner wants, how they view it, whether they're supportive, whether they get it, why it is that they are resistant to change, particularly if they're in a particularly unhealthy state themselves. A lot of people can see that it's too overwhelming, it's too big a challenge to start, and so just don't get started. Don't have the energy. And like I was saying before, the focus, don't have that. And sometimes people are looking for a little bit of a push and want to change, but they just don't know how to. So my suggestion is that you're just authentic. It comes from a supportive and loving place, and try to understand what they want, understand or get them to understand what it is that you want for you. And if having them along for the journey with you is really important to you, which I can appreciate that it is and would be, then explain those reasons why, and just see if you can understand. The most challenging part I find with a partner, if you've got different goals in this space, is don't try and change somebody. I think no one will change because you want them to change. They need to change. Well, they might. Okay, they might say, oh, this is really important. Men particularly do this because we're pretty hopeless. We'll say, oh, well, she really wants me to change, or your partner, wants you to change. And you're like, oh, yeah, well, I'll do it for them. But at some point that will fall over, right? So somebody's only going to change if they want to change, right? And I think you've just got to, once you've had those conversations, you just have to realise, well, they're not going to change because you want them to change. They might for a bit, but you know that that's not going to be sustainable. It's got to come from an authentic place for them, so that they're doing it for the right reasons. And there are plenty of reasons, to be around longer for you, to be able to do more things together, maybe have a more active lifestyle, have more energy. I say to people, imagine if you had 20%, 30% more energy. And people struggle to think about what that would mean. But I say, well, now imagine you've taken that 20 or 30% into the bedroom. What does that look like for you? And they're, yeah, actually, that's pretty exciting. So it can be a tricky one. It's got to come from a good place. So don't be accusational, don't be hurtful. It's got to come from a loving place. All right, well, some ways to, some creative ways to involve your partner in your health and fitness routines. So what I encourage my clients to do is to bring their partners along. Even if they're not interested, say, hey, just bring them along for a session and see if they will, enjoy it. And for some people, the concept of working out with their partner is a great thing. For other people, it's a nightmare. So it's kind of horses for courses. But I think if you can, say probably the easiest thing to do is maybe go for a walk and start off on a flat surface. If nobody wants to, if your partner is not really into it, find someone. We've got a lake here, which it's very flat. It's 1.5 kilometres around. Go for a walk around the lake. Spend some time sitting there, and then go for a walk or something like that. Find something that is perhaps out in nature to start with. It can be good because there's today here. It's a nice day. It's not too hot. The sun's shining. You can hear nature and feel the sun on your face and stuff, and it just feels better. And just the natural endorphin release that you get from movement can be really great as well. So I think see if you can tap into what it is that they like, and then get involved. Maybe go bowling, something like that, like 10-pin bowling. Yes, that's indoors, but and doesn't require that much physical activity. But again, that's going to be a little bit more fun maybe than just sitting on the couch and playing another type of game on the Xbox or something. So it requires a bit of creativity and trying a few different things, and don't give up. Just see if you can get them involved, and like I said before, have those nice conversations so that you can say, look, do you know what? I'd really like us to get out and about a little bit more. And relationships is like a journey, right? I was married for 20 years. And you're learning every day. You're learning something else. Some things stay the same, but then other things you're just learning more because you're in a different situation, and your partner might say something, or you're having a conversation, getting deeper and deeper into stuff. So, oh wow, I never knew that about them. So yeah, that's a nice one. Right, let's maybe go one more. All right. So let me cover this. So there's a whole bunch of questions about Liv because of Christmas and this New Year period, and I posted a photo, a memory of the three girls. It's the last Christmas image that I have of Liv with me and her sister. And so a lot of people are nicely reaching out and saying, I'm sure it's a tough time of the year for you, thoughts with you, etc., etc. So one of the questions here is how's having Liv in your life influenced your approach to health and wellness? So for those of you that don't know, so my daughter, she passed away from an eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, in April, the end of April this year. And she was only 15 years of age. And I don't know, it's a horrible thing to lose a child. We shouldn't be losing our children. And every day there are constant reminders. Christmas Day was actually not too bad for me. I don't allow myself to go really deep and think about it all the time, because if I do it, I'm a basket case. But yeah, there were quite a few tears on Boxing Day. Yeah, I was really missing her, and I was really missing her. I was holding her, and I was cuddling her, talking to her, and the tears just, streaming down my face. When it comes to then thinking about, how has she influenced my approach to health and wellness, I think the biggest thing that I've learned through, and it didn't just happen because she passed away, but in the years leading up to it, is just to become more empathetic and understanding, and realizing that even though I might not have challenges in certain areas, that other people do, and therefore chances are I'm going to have clients that have some serious mental health issues as well, and to be just very understanding as to the different challenges that people go through in life. Life is really tough, and it can wear you down, and stuff happens, and it can be really tough. So I think what she's taught me is to be more empathetic and more understanding. And I am obviously more sensitive to, let's just say I have a very slim young client that comes in that, may have maybe openly admits that they have an eating disorder, or they have, they're in remission kind of from an eating disorder, or they've had it in the past, is really being mindful of what's going on in their life, what are their triggers, and certainly not setting them up with a meal plan where we're counting a lot of calories and doing all that kind of stuff, because that's really dangerous. And so we want to focus more on healthy eating and eating frequently, and not over-exercising, no purging and that kind of stuff. So I think it's definitely made me a more empathetic coach. It's made me more aware of people's mental health, and certainly made me more sensitive to people that may have eating disorders or do have eating disorders. So I guess that's how she's had an influence on me. Ironically, she was very much into cooking and healthy recipes and that kind of stuff. She loved doing that for other people. And just remembering the joy that she would have in, say, making me a breakfast burrito, for instance, she was really good at those. And I do miss those as well as her. I miss her delivering them to me, and her smile, and the conversations we would have, and then us talking about it, and she'd talking about how she cooked it and what she put in there and all that kind of stuff. So I think about those things too. So yeah, it is. Look, it is tough. I am there's a whole bunch of other questions. I'm going to do an episode of the Mental Toughness and Body Show today, where I talk about, I suppose, my learnings from 2023. And so I'm going to incorporate some of those into that, if you're interested. But I'm just conscious that we're over 20 minutes here now, and it is New Year's Eve, and most people probably aren't going to watch the full version of this. But if you do, well done to the end. Thanks for watching. This is something I introduced, a number of weeks ago now, and I'll keep on doing it. I quite enjoy answering everybody's questions, so keep the questions coming. Like I say, Happy New Year, and stay healthy, and most of all, stay safe this year and tonight, and look after yourself, and start tomorrow with something that is going to really empower you, like a workout. And so you're starting the day doing the right thing. Don't say, oh no, I'll start on the second because I'm so hungover or whatever. Just don't do that. I mean, what I'm doing, I'm spending some time with my daughter and her boyfriend tonight, just home here. There'd be a heap of illegal fireworks going off around us at midnight. I'll probably be in bed at 10 o'clock, wake up at midnight because of the fireworks, go back to sleep. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs, don't do any of that sort of stuff. And I just love life, right? And I look forward to the work that I'm doing tomorrow. And I'm seeing clients tomorrow. So, let's go. Let's make 2024 our best yet. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your questions.